yourselves right up to here. Drink a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is when you're watching this. Here's Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer, also the Chicago Now beer correspondent at Beeronaut.com. And once again, I'm going to pop open a beer I've not had before and talk about it while we drink it. Now, I get a lot of beers that have been sent to me by the brewers for my review, and most of them I try to drink up right away, because that's when they're still out. A couple of them find their way into my cellar, and it's like, oh, I should really get into this. So this is a bottle from 2014. It's Bridgeport Brewing's. One more time, Bridgeport Brewing, which is from Portland, Oregon, not from the Chicago neighborhood. And this is their Stumptown Tart, a Belgian-style fruit ale. They have a different version of it every year. This is the 2014 version. It was sent to me along with some other beers for their 30th anniversary. Yes, they were founded in 1984. And well, it just seemed to be something to squirrel away, and just kind of lost track of time on some of these. So once again, this will be an ale from the cellar, and I cannot hold the brewer accountable for anything that happened to the beer in the past 4 years or so. So we'll just see how it's kept up. And remember, anything that's gone wrong with it is pretty much probably my fault, because it's been in storage, been moved, been warm, been cold. So here we go. Da, 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 da. This is the best part of the whole production. Popping the darn lid. I tried a new bottle opener and it didn't work well this time. Anyway, no, there's still a nice fizzy, fruity nose to it. They don't say much about the style of the beer, just that it's Belgian-based, and this one is made, they usually make it with blueberries, and this year, or in 2014, they added Oregon cranberries to the mix, and so this is what we've got. Looks like it's been re-fermented in the bottle. It's kind of a little bit hazy, and amber with a little gold down here at the bottom of this bowl. A little bit of fizz to it, which is nice, and it smells kind of like it kind of smells like the like a Belgian ale, I guess. More like a Belgian double. The fruit is pretty mild, and it can kind of be part of like maybe a bit of funk that comes from some of the Belgian beers. And once again, let's give it a try. Well, this has aged really nicely. I get a couple of hot alcohol notes to it. This was brewed at 7.8% ABV. But there's really nothing off besides that. And the fruit, it's a little bit more cranberry to it, but that's a little sweeter than you'd normally expect like a cranberry juice cocktail to be. Some good maltiness to it. I can't pick up a lot of bittering to it. It's kind of overwhelmed, or not overwhelmed, but just overmatched a bit by the fruit flavor. And I really have to say, I'm glad I held on to this for a while, but and had a chance to talk about it to you today. Some nice leggy foam here in the side of the glass, and it's not overwhelmingly fruity, as a matter of fact, despite what I might have said before. This is not some Barry Weiss or whatever. It's just a nice blend of aromatic Belgian malt and just a nice backing of fruit flavor. And luckily, there's probably some yeast that's settled down to the bottom, and I'm not going to have you watch while I try to get to the bottom. It's a little fizzy, isn't it now? I'm not going to have you watch while I try to get through the bottom of this, but it's a little cloudy, so there's probably still some secondary yeast in it, and it just goes down very nicely. So once again, I hope that they are. Let me see if I can scan and see if they are still doing the Stumptown Tart. And if it's available in your neck of the woods, I would certainly recommend you give it a chance. It's one of those once-a-year releases. Actually, just throwing in one note now that I'm reading this a little more closely, that's what happens when you do things in one take. You kind of think of things to do instead of planning them ahead. But they have not stopped making the Stumptown Tart. They stopped vintage dating the title in 2015. I see that in 2016 there's been a Stumptown Tart Cherry Saison, and then in 2017 there's been a Stumptown Tart Belgian Style Fruit Sour Ale. There should be a 2018 out there, but I don't see it yet. But we'll see if that gets reported later on. If you've got one of these in your cellar, I can recommend that you take it out now, or just hold on to it for a while longer, because it's turning out very well. Because I don't think I've treated it any better than anyone else would, and it really holds up. So thanks a lot. And hopefully I have been asked again about writing a book about craft beer as a culture. So I really got to get my act together and start actually writing something. First off, I have to write a proposal. So we'll see what happens with that. That's going to be years in the making. But in the meantime, I'm Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer, also available at beeronaut.com. Wishing you and yours Prost.
Now don't be